We are outside doing chores, and part of our chores is realizing the blessing of having food on our land. However, there's so many of you who may not can grow a lot of their own food. So today's video is going to be a great one. It's going to literally hopefully help a lot of us that, you know, if you want to start prepping or you want to start getting a survival plan ready, this may be the video for you. Today's topic is going to be, how do we start this prepping journey a very easy way? I would say this is preschool. You know, we want to get to a better prepping. We want to get to a better survival plan. We've got several videos on that, and we want you to go look at those. But when we talk about just starting to prep and you're on a budget, you can't afford a lot of the inflation that's going on, but you're scared and you see food shortage right in front of you. We're going to talk about 20 items that you can purchase right now to get 30 days worth of supply for you and your family from Walmart. Now, I know a lot of you hate Walmart. I'm not a big fan of Walmart either. We hope that you could use a local grocer, but the point of this video is so you can see you can build a 30-day supply of a survival plan, not only for the crap hitting the fan, but you may need it for hurricanes. You may need it for earthquakes, tornadoes, disasters, power outages, blackouts, anything and everything. This could be the start of a great plan for you. This is survival prepping on a budget, 20 items that you need right now that you can actually buy for $200. This video starts right now. As I said in the entrance, welcome to our channel. Please know that we are not condoning big box stores always. We want you to shop local. We want you to grow your own food. We are a sustainable farm here in South Mississippi. However, when we talk about starting to prep, starting to build this survival pantry, you need to find a way that you can do it economic and also save money, making sure that you're taking care of your family and giving you a hope and a peace that you're doing something in a positive manner. We live in a crappy world of news sometimes, and the food shortages, the crisis, the supply chain issues, it does affect us. So we're wanting you to say, okay, you can put XYZ grocery store in here, you can grow your own food, but for the people who live in apartments, for the people who live in cities, for the elder, for some of the ones who are on a budget and can't grow this big farm, they live in suburban America, which is the majority of people, y'all. This could be a way that you can put up 30 days worth of food, and you can buy it from Walmart. I'm gonna give you the exact amounts of everything, how much supplies you need for your family for this 30 days, and literally this is gonna be under $200. Now, all these prices were taken straight off Walmart.com or from the Walmart store literally last week, which would be the last part of June. So we really want you to understand that you can do this. We have a lot of naysayers that are like, yeah, don't use Walmart. Okay, I don't want you to use Walmart either. But in this case, get some food put up, because a lot of times, if we would just give ourselves a little hope, we would realize that positivity and also that kind of snowball, it helps us build to the next thing. Now, this is not something you want to put up and do and finish for $200 and say, all right, I'm done, I'm ready, I'm prepped for World War III, I'm prepped for the crap hitting the fan, I'm prepped for the dollar falling. No, that's not what this is. This is a preschool beginner version of learning how to prep, starting it on a budget and making sure that you are taking care of your family with a 30-day supply of food. When we first started prepping, when we first got married in the early 2000s, this was how we prepped, because we had no money, we had no land, we had this little city lot, and we grew a little garden that lasted for about a month's worth of food for the whole year. So we needed to buy supplies to prep. So number one, of course, you always hear, oh, rice and beans. Well, let's talk about rice and beans. So number 1 and 2, rice. 20 pounds of rice, which is going to be about 20 meals. Now, I have a cheat sheet because I want you to understand I've done the numbers, and hopefully this will help you. But rice right now, 20 pounds right here, it's 20 pounds for $8.98. Now, we've done a lot of number pulling. I've got a little cheat sheet right in front of me. So you see this is $8.98 for 20 pounds of food. In a situation where we're trying to save economically and we're in a bad situation, in a prepping situation, you may even ration that more. But let's just go through it so you can see. So you have 20 meals provided at £1 each for $8.98, which is right here for the rice. Now, secondly, that goes along with it, because you always hear rice and beans, beans and rice, is these beans. These are Pinto beans. Again, 20 pounds at Walmart right now for $14.46. Please understand, a lot of these things on the list are economic and ways to get food in your body, gives you calorie count. As a person who tries to eat as organic and as natural as possible, some of these foods would not make my list now. But in a survival situation where we needed food, we bought what we could to put it up, because if worse comes to worse, I would rather know I had some of these things to eat, and I wanted to make sure I could take care of my family. So not that this is the end all be all, not that you want to put only these foods here on this list up. This is just a way to start. I can't stress that enough. So we've got number 1, which is going to be rice, number 2, which is going to be beans, both 20-pound bags, 20 meals each. Let's jump right into 3. Number 3, we're gonna start on the one thing that a lot of people say other than rice and beans: ramen noodles. Ramen noodles right now are $5.74. Bam, you see them right there. That is actually a 2 12-pack, so that's 24 packs of ramen noodles, no matter what flavor you like. Ramen noodles are not really nutritional at all. Sorry for all you people who like ramen noodles, they're not nutritional. They are calorie dense. They can give you, again, energy and carbs that you may need in a survival situation. But this is $5.74 for 24 meals. Number 4, we're gonna talk about some meats. Now right here is probably one of my favorite proteins to eat. It really is tuna. I love tuna. I don't get it a lot anymore. I don't eat it a lot anymore because we do raise a lot of our meat on farm, but it's definitely one of my favorites. So right here, we're gonna buy 2 12-packs. That's gonna make it $13.96 for 24 meals. Our carbs with our rice and noodles, we got our fiber with our beans, we got our fats. Now we've got tuna, which has got a lot of protein in it. I challenge you to probably get the ones with the oil in it. So again, it gives you a form of fat along with what you're eating. So now that's another 24 meals for $13.96. That is 2 12-packs of this tuna. Number 5 is probably one of the most expensive things on the list, but it's another protein source that personally I like. You can utilize really well. So we have our tuna for protein. Now let's talk about chicken. Canned chicken. It's actually one of the most expensive things, but you can buy 2 4-packs of chicken. Now those 4 packs, 2 meals in each, because they're the bigger cans, of course. You see them right here. So that, I would say that's 8 meals. Now I would say you can actually get a lot more meals than 2 out of each can, but we're just saying 8 meals out of these 4 cans, because we want to make sure that you are seeing that we're giving you the serving sizes. However, in a rationing situation, you need to try to conserve a little bit more. Fiber, carbs, protein. Now back to vegetables. Now, if you're buying vegetables, try to buy them in raw form, try to buy in holistic, organic form, and you're trying to eat as holistic as possible. This is just canned, normal corn, the cheapest way you can have it. So number 6, of course, is canned corn. Not the most healthiest corn probably available, especially in a can, but we're talking survival prep. We're not talking about making sure that you're getting the most holistic diet. Please understand, I would challenge you to get the most holistic diet. I would challenge you to get the most quality food you can. But in a situation where you're trying to build a 30-day supply for cheap and economic, and you're on a budget, a very fixed income, this corn, that's 12 cans of corn. That's 24 more meals. And again, you can probably get way more than 2 meals out of a can. Man, when me and Misty first got married, we tried to eat on a budget as much as possible to save as much money. We'd have these canned corns and we'd probably eat 2 or 3 meals off of them, because again, we were trying to save money. We were trying to make our food go longer. This is 12 cans of corn. We're saying this is gonna give you 24 meals for $5.88. That's number 6. Now number 7, it's the same thing as canned green beans or canned peas or canned black beans, whatever beans you're wanting. I'm saying green beans again, it gives you green. A lot of these cans have a lot of sodium, so I wouldn't challenge you for this to be the best part of your diet. But in a survival situation, I'd say you need to eat it. Again, 24 meals for $5.88. That's a steal. If you are already eating this food, then you need to rotate them again as they get the years on them. Check your expiration dates. But all this food so far has been very non-perishable, will last for years, and you can put it up in your pantry in the back just to make sure that if the worst of the worst happens, the world gets really crazy all of a sudden, you've got this food put up for safety. Number 8, I would say it's gonna be dried mashed potatoes. I'm gonna share it right here. For a 3-pack of these mashed potato flakes, you're looking at $5.94. That's gonna give you 12 more meals, another carb source. Now, the cool thing about these potato flakes, if you're learning sourdough and you're not using an artisan style with flour, potato flakes are a big part of old sourdough recipes to build up your sourdough starter. You feed it with sugar, you feed it with water, you feed it with these potato flakes. That's another video for another day. But potato flakes can be utilized in several forms and fashions of the ramen noodles or the rice. It's a filler. It allows you to know that you're getting fuller faster and hopefully rationing your food better. Probably another one of the most expensive things that we're talking about on this list, but it is a necessity for preparing other foods. So a lot of things you've seen so far has been, okay, this is a meal, this is a meal, this is a meal. You can put these meals together to build up what you're eating for the day. In this situation, this is dried milk right here. It's probably one of the most expensive things that we have on the list. You can build 8 quarts of milk, dried powder milk, for literally $8.43. Not the cheapest option compared to some of the other foods, but say you're needing to cook, you have a dried powder milk option. That milk lasts for longer because it is non-perishable, being that it is dried milk, versus having, like us, we have a milk cow, we freeze our milk, we freeze dry our own milk. But in a case where you're trying to have some kind of form of liquid or some kind of milk protein or calcium, powdered milk is really good to have in your pantry. It's a little bit more expensive, but it allows you to then use it and cook with it. All you gotta do is rehydrate it with water, and there you go. You've got a form of milk, which is gonna give you a calcium and a protein base. One of the more expensive things on the list, but I think you need it. This right here. Dude, I love peanut butter. If you ask my wife or my children, what is my go-to snack, meal, whatever I'm doing, is this right here. Crazy Richard's peanut butter. Now you can buy Jif, you can buy Peter Pan, but I don't like you anymore if you buy any of those, because you need to buy Crazy Richard's. It is the best peanut butter, by the way. But it's a non-GMO. You can buy other peanut butters way cheaper. This peanut butter, I'm saying, again, a 4-pack of this peanut butter is $13.36. That is 14 servings per can, which makes it 56 servings. Now, I'm not saying peanut butter needs to be your end-all be-all meal for the day. In a rationing situation, this could be a little quick fix to get you through the day if you're trying to get somewhere, or you're trying to save money, or you're trying to ration your meals and you don't need to eat one of your meat sources. You have a protein-based peanut butter, a scoop of peanut butter, a tablespoon of peanut butter. It's packed full of fat, packed full of calories, and also very heavy in protein. Is a filler. I absolutely love it in my diet. Is a very vital part, especially as I love running or working out. It allows me to have that protein source that's quick, easy. Number 11, we have not really talked about the liquid part of prepping. Now we've got the foods, and a lot of these foods you can eat straight out of a can. A teaspoon of peanut butter, a tablespoon of peanut butter. For your rice and your beans, hopefully you're able to have a water source. Hopefully water is not something you don't have. But here's what I do. Even though I have a well, even though I have a hand pump to my well, even though I have a lake and pond and creek, water's end all be all. Oh, number 11 on this list would be gallon water right here. A gallon worth of water is literally $1.06. I hate paying for water, but in a situation where you can go to Walmart, buy 20 of these, and I know people say, I have no room for 20. We put them under beds, we put them under bathroom sinks, we put them in cupboards, we put them everywhere. We have them. I still to this day have piles of water that we've put up that we can utilize for anything, from brushing our teeth to flushing our toilet to making sure that we can, rehydrate food, or just simply drink the water if need be. If we have to boil it, if it's old, but it's water in your residence to have. You're not dependent on anything. 20 gallons of water is a lot of water. You can ration that water off. 20 gallons will literally cost you $21.60. That's 20 full gallons of water. Put it up. A lot of times what I would challenge you to do is maybe get them out of that little plastic jug, and we'll talk about what we're going to put them in just a second. Number 12 is old-fashioned oats. 2 cans on the list right here, $5.16 for both. Being conservative, 20 meals could probably easily come out of these 2 cans. I actually think it could be more, but now you have a breakfast food that you can turn around and utilize. Very healthy for you, mixing with the water or simply adding to your peanut butter. We love old-fashioned oats, and it is a staple here. Now you've got a breakfast food that's devoted to breakfast, that's going to be a filler that can hold you over for a good part of the day. These next 2 are going to be things that you're using to mix. It's going to be a base. Number 13, sugar. Number 14, flour. Both of these can be a base for a lot of the things that you are making or needing to cook, to just change up your palate, to utilize making quick pancakes or biscuits, making something like a little flour tortilla. If you're eating something, you have the water, you have the flour. 2 good things to just have in your pantry. You're always going to use these things. Now again, I would tell you to buy quality if you can, but both of these are shown in its most economic form. The sugar is 25 pounds for $13.40. The flour right here, that is 25 pounds for $8.80. Now we buy a lot more flour because we like using it. 25 pounds of flour and sugar in your pantry, be a great additive to have. Number 15, the last of the food items, the meat source that I say my kids probably would not love to eat, but again, they can hold their nose and eat them. I'm not crazy about them, but it's these right here. Vienna sausages. I think anybody who has started prepping or went camping before has got fond memories of Vienna sausages. Now, Vienna sausages, again, it is a protein, not the most healthiest thing for sure. Loaded full of sodium and a lot of probably preservatives. I would not challenge you this to be your main meat source, but it's good to have because, again, it's 2 12 packs for $13.92, 24 meals there. I personally would say knock the Viennas out and get some more tuna, but I want to show you another option for another protein source that I say that lightly, another meat source that you could put in your prepping pantry. 24 meals, $13.92. It could be something good for your kids to grab, eat on the go, and to get used to it. Not my favorite. It wraps up the food list. Now this food, all this food together, that's 15 things. And for those 15 things, I got my cheat sheet here. Those 15 things cost $165.47 at Walmart.com or at your local Walmart as of a week ago. I don't think it's changed much in a week. Now, that when I mentioned all that for $165.47, before we talk about the last 5 things, that means you are buying 200 meal servings plus 56 extra snack meals, which are going to be the peanut butter. That's not counting the dried milk, the flour, and the sugar, and the water that will help you add to or make more meals based on simple things to add to these meals. All that together is 83 cents per meal that you have in a prepping pantry. Now that is the cheapest, most economical way that you can put 30 days worth of food up. So 200 meal servings, 56 extra snack servings of peanut butter, and then tons of other additives for $165.47, averaging 83 cents per meal. Now say you're a family like me, we're a family of 8. Say you're a family of 2, you can play with this list a little bit. That's okay. All I'm trying to do is when people say I can't prep, or I don't have the money, or I can't do this, or I can't do that, you literally can knock 1 or 2 of these things off the list every time you go to Walmart for literally just a few dollars more. Not saying you need to focus on prepping just from Walmart, because that is very, very untrue, and I would not tell you to do your preps from Walmart all the time. But this is a starter set of 15 items of food, and then we're just knock down the other 5 items that we're going to be talking about for 15 items of food, 200 servings, $165.47. That's a game changer, and that will allow you to have hope and knowing your food is right there in your pantry to take care of your family for 30 days. Now let's talk about the last 5 things. They're non-perishable things, but also not food related. These will be helpful to have just on hand, just to put in your prepping pantry. You can add to this list. I would not say these top 20 would be top 20 for everybody, but this is 20 that you need to have. Let's knock out the last 16 through 20 right now. 16 is a first aid kit. Bam. Now again, this is not gonna have everything you need. We're gonna be doing a med supply bug out bag that we have, that we personally are using, and we're gonna be talking about that. We've talked about it in other videos, but we're gonna be showing a video of that descriptive. This is not that. This is a basic first aid kit that I would have. It's gonna have your typical gauze, BandAids, some steri strips in there, some Neosporin, just some basic things for minor situations, but it's good to have on hand. This is $9.88. I would say go ahead and buy it, have it with your foods to know you have a little form of prepping started in your medical supply, and you can always add to this, but for $9.88, it's a game changer to have this on hand. Number 17 is going to be white vinegar. White vinegar can be used as a cleaning product and a septic and as a wash for you. It's very good for you, and if you need to cleanse your system, apple cider vinegar or this vinegar would work right here. I'd say buy 2 gallons of it for $6. I would challenge you to maybe have the apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is definitely a little bit more expensive, but white vinegar is good to have too. We use white vinegar sometimes on clothing, if we're cleaning clothing, if we're adding them to dishes. It can be used around your house all the time, not just for prepping, so you're not going to waste it. But it's good to have, I believe, in your prepping pantry because you can utilize it in so many different ways. Number 18, alcohol can be utilized for so much. Adding to your medical supply, I would say buy 3 bottles of this. That's $10.38. During the pandemic, you couldn't find a lot of this stuff, but alcohol was one of those things that you could not find. So I would have it. It's a good additive to have if you're trying to clean something, especially if you're trying to clean off an abrasion. You've got a cut, as it would burn. Alcohol is a good thing to have on hand. Again, 3 bottles. We always buy the 91%, the heaviest ones, and a septic. It's also a cleaner that we use just like the vinegar. Definitely adding to the vinegar, the first aid kit. All those 3 things are helping you start a medical style supply and prep pantry but please know you need to add a lot more. But other than food, first aid kit, we've got white vinegar at $6. We have alcohol 3 bottles, $10.38. Now let's talk about number 19, matches. Matches, 500 count, which is 2 boxes of 250, would be $1.94. It's good to have matches on hand because you never know if you have to go out and you have to start your own fire. If you have to start a fire inside your chimney or into a hot box of some form, you need to have matches. If you're starting a little rocket stove, we talked about having a rocket stove a few videos ago. You never know what you may need them for, but matches is always a good thing to have. Now I know people say have lighters and things like that. Absolutely. There's nothing that you can't add to this list, but 500 count of matches for $1.94 is a pretty good deal. I would definitely add those. Last thing on the list, number 20 is going to be food grade 5-gallon buckets. Now you can buy these at Walmart. Most of the time they're in the painting section. Look for it and make sure it says food grade, food safe. They're literally, you can buy 2 of these for $8.56. Normally they're like $4.20. Crazy thing is, before the pandemic, they were $1.98 to $2.28 per food grade 5-gallon bucket, no matter where you bought it. I bought them at co-ops, I've bought them online, bought them at Home Depot online, and I've bought them at Walmart. Make sure they're food grade. This is a way that you can put up that flour, you can put up that milk, you can put up the sugar and put it up safely. Now I would challenge you buy Mylar bags and all that good stuff. You can even put the water in these. It's good to have for that $8.56 for 2. Of course, if you're trying to put everything that we talked about, such as the dried goods and the water, in these buckets, you will need more than that. But 2 would be the ones, and I would put my flour and sugar in there more than anything, especially for a 30-day supply, because flour and sugar will be the one thing that tends to either go rancid or that little insects will get into more than any of these other items, flour and sugar for sure. Now we've got this whole list of 20 items. These 5 items are another $36.76 to your first part of food for $165.47. We have now got 200 meals, ways to have a start of a medical supply, also ways to get a fire going, and also ways to put up the food safely. All for $202.23. Guys, that's a game changer. 83 cents per meal. Now you've given yourself hope. When people say, I'm in despair, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what to do, we're talking kindergarten and preschool prepping here, but this is the way to start. It always starts with just one thing. You know, people say the same thing about saving. Well, you know, I'm too late in life, I can't save. Well, every dollar that you put up is a dollar saved and a dollar earned. Same way with the principle of prepping and food. We started years and years and years ago, over a decade ago, putting up some form of food, if it be the cheapest of the cheap, because that's all we literally could afford. Now, even though we're growing 100% of our meats and literally 95% of our vegetables or carbs to go with our meats, we still buy food to put up. I told you, peanut butter is like my favorite thing to eat. You need to make sure you're starting a food prepping pantry, and you can do it for literally $200 to do a 30-day supply. You can bend this list, you can mold it, and give me some more suggestions below. I will try to answer all of those, and if there are good points, man, I'm like, great suggestion. You can mend this list and however you want to do it, but this is a way that you can go to Walmart, spend $200 of your money, and get food put up. Every one of these things you can utilize, so you're not wasting money, you're actually putting it up, and guess what? If you never get in a situation of survival, all these things, buying it now, which if you bought it a year ago, it'd even been cheaper, but buying them now will be cheaper than what it will be buying them at Christmas this year. So you can use these foods, say you don't need to survive and you don't need to prep and there's no disaster happening. All these foods are cheaper to have now, buying in bulk and making sure you have them on your shelf, to where if you don't want to buy them at the year end when they're double these prices or 20% more or 10% more, you've got food put up, you've saved money, and you've gave yourself hope. Hope to know that you can start this prepping situation to take care of your family. Food shortages and supply chains will affect us all, but the more you have at your home, the more you have in your apartment, the more you have on your farm, the less you're worried about everything going on in this crazy world we live in. Guys, have hope. Know that you can do this. Start your preps with this simple list. I will tag this list below in the description. All the money shown there. And if you don't want to go to Walmart and you despise Walmart, go to your local grocer. Some of these prices will definitely change. Some may be high, some may be lower. But have these things. You can buy a lot of these things from also online at an online grocer where they can send it straight to your door. Again, it may cost more money, but these are ways that you can have 200 meals for a 30-day supply for $202.23. Game changer. Guys, hope you enjoy this video. Let us know what you think about this video. Like and comment. Subscribe to the Max. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.